X community notes absolutely destroyed game developers' blatant propaganda and attempts to censor Kabrutus, Rambo, and his Steam curator list in order to support Sweet Baby Inc.'s lies. They got absolutely bodied. This is a huge, huge win. Shows that the truth will prevail. Roll this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. Encourage you to head on over and become a paid subscriber. Help us fight back against this woke ideology that is infecting the video game industry and is trying to destroy our culture and society at large. So, game developer, which it's not a person, it's not an individual, it's a publication. They reposted an article that was written by one of their writers, Bryant Francis, back in March. It was titled, "Why Are Valve and Discord Permitting Harassment Against Sweet Baby Inc.?" And in that article, Francis falsely claims that, quote, Sweet Baby Inc. has become the target of an online harassment campaign for its consulting work on games like Alan Wake 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Again, this is what Sweet Baby Inc. has said that they are. They said that they are the victims of. Dave Bedard, Kim Belair have claimed this. This is not true. We'll get to that. As for why Francis claims this is happening, he said users on websites like Twitter and Kiwi Farm have singled out the agency for allegedly having overarching influence on these games and accused it of forcibly injecting a political agenda into them by advocating for diversity. He claims this is a grim conspiracy theory built on out-of-context comments and a deliberate misreading of their mission statement, as well as racism, homophobia, and other layers of bigotry. That's right, Brian Francis, game journalist, accusing gamers of being racist, homophobes, and other layers of bigotry. We can clearly disprove this misreading of their mission statement. Well, it's right here. Founded in 2018, Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. So they are advocating for diversity. I'm not sure why he's saying that is misreading. Again, this guy is just lying through his teeth in order to run a narrative for Sweet Baby Inc. that they're the victims of harassment, which they aren't. We also have this 2019 Game Developers Conference presentation. Kim Belair was quite clear what her company's goal was. She said this, none of what we're doing is about ticking boxes or about a veneer of wokeness. We actually have to care about making this stuff. It's not about a veneer of wokeness. It's about actual wokeness. That's what Kim Belair said. We also have this. This is most infamous comment right here, or one of her most infamous comments. If you're creative working in AAA, which I did for many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. Remember, this is 2019. Elon Musk had not purchased Twitter. Twitter was still the breeding ground for cancel mobs, unjustly getting people fired, ruining people's lives. There was no justice in it. And she's literally encouraging it. Terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. Well, what's going to happen if you don't push all of this woke ideology, whether it be critical theory, feminism, communism, etc., transgenderism, all the tentacles of wokeness? Well, they're going to create a cancel campaign against you. That's what she's threatening. That's what she's saying right here. Because they have to consider, I say that out loud as a joke, but it's actually very, very true. Because if you start to consider the people who are player and audience facing, and you have to deal with mitigating harm and with keeping the sentiment around their game and their project positive, there's like a genuine value that you can impress upon them both ethically and financially. you could say this is important. She's literally talking about launching cancel campaigns on Twitter against video game companies that do not hire her company and push her agenda, which again isn't about a veneer of wokeness. It is about wokeness. It's also a valid discussion to have because if you're working with a thin narrative budget and you work in AAA, I think you will be pleasantly surprised or dismayed by the amount of money that marketing can give you. So she also wants to just enrich herself too, right? But all taken out of context, according to Brian Francis. This total lie. After the publishing of Francis' article, we did also find this. We discovered this. Shout out to Kirsch. We discovered that this person here uses the name Cameron Wild, Sweet Baby Inc. employee, did a presentation at the Game Developers of Color Expo. And on one slide of the presentation, which was titled Cool, So Why Am I Here? A bullet point literally says, burning the games industry to the ground. Furthermore, the so-called harassment campaign that Francis claims Sweet Baby Inc. has been subjected was actually a harassment campaign against Brazilian gamer Kabrutus Rambo and was started by Sweet Baby Inc. employees. Obviously, as a refresher, Chris Kindred targeted the Steam Curator group and Kabrutus Rambo's personal Steam account writing on X back at the end of February. Steam Curator harassment group Sweet Baby Inc. detected is led by this person, Kabrutus Rambo. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported. Even with the discriminatory language filed off, the group itself still fails the code of conduct. Anyway, report the F out of this group and report the creator since he loves his account so much. Literally trying to cancel Kabrutus Rambo and his Steam Curator group because he created a list of Sweet Baby Inc. games so people could boycott them. There's nothing wrong with that. We also had this one here, Maya Kramer, calling for those with authority to step in and censor the Steam Curator list. Also a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee. Kramer wrote this, sorry, no one thing has changed. The number of people who understand that spreading misinformation just lets them be racist in public with no consequence has increased dramatically. That has changed. Probably requires some fighting from those with authority. Probably. She added, for example, Steam doesn't have guidelines for curators. As far as I can tell, that would prevent someone from starting a curation group that focuses on, say, Sweet Baby Inc. and warns people to not buy games they're associated with, which could just list any game at all. So it literally contradicts Kindred, right? Saying that it violates the terms of service when she's like saying it doesn't actually do that. That post got community noted too back in February, noting that the curator uses Sweet Baby Inc.'s own website as its source, and that Kramer here is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee or works for Sweet Baby Inc. So nevertheless, despite much of this evidence already being apparent at the time of publishing, Brian Francis ignored it and called for Steam and Discord to censor Kabrutus Rambo. He wrote this. The steps both companies have taken to moderate these groups appear to have had some effect, but allowing them to remain online serves the organizers' overarching purpose, recruiting normies with little knowledge of game development to capitalize on their anger and channel them into directing hate speech towards Sweet Baby Inc. and anyone else pressing for inclusivity in video games and beyond. If those loopholes aren't closed, those bad actors will have learned that they can target other developers, and this will be the beginning of another massive hate campaign that will leave our industry and its people worse for wear. So he's literally calling on Discord and Steam to censor Kabrutus Rambo and shut him down. All because Sweet Baby Inc. is literally injecting wokeness, admits to it, and tried to cancel Kabrutus Rambo. So his whole article was a giant piece of propaganda that was running cover for Sweet Baby Inc. and trying to push Sweet Baby Inc.'s own agenda of shutting down opponents and using tactics such as terrifying people to do so. And that's what Brian Francis was trying to do here. He's trying to terrify Steam and Discord into shutting down Kabrutus Rambo, using the tactic that Kim Belair advocated for back in 2019. So the community notes absolutely bodied them here. Says this does not violate Valve and Discord terms of service, as the main goal of the server is simply listing out games that Sweet Baby Inc. is involved with. Obviously, that list is actually, the curator is actually evolved now. It recommends a bunch of games, and it's not just Sweet Baby Inc. It's basically a DEI detected group, even though it's still called Sweet Baby Inc. So it detects all DEI games, or tries to. And then it says, on the other hand, Sweet Baby Inc. employees who targeted the Discord server and its owner had violated a bunch of terms of service. Yeah, I didn't even include that in this article, but my previous coverage that I did over at That Park Place, Chris Kindred was actually suspended from X. I had to go to Blue Sky and admitted that he got suspended. And then obviously links to the Maya Kramer posts and links to, I think those archive links are to the Kindred posts. And then also links to my coverage over at That Park Place, specifically my coverage on David Bedard and him claiming to be a victim, David Bedard being one of the co-founders of Sweet Baby Inc. alongside Kim Belair. So Sweet Baby Inc., game developer, bodied by X community notes. Massive win for the truth. Massive win for gamers. These propaganda pieces, these lies, are not being unchallenged anymore. This is a new period on Twitter X where the truth is no longer being suppressed and is actively pushing back against the blatant propaganda and lies of those pushing the woke agenda. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.